Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Your Mom's Podcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Avis.
And I'm Caroline.
Today we'll be talking about Degrassi Season 1, Episodes 11 through 13, Friday Night, Wannabe, and Cabaret. In Friday Night, roses are red, Mrs. Kwan's not doing great, a bird poops on Emma on her and Sean's first date. And it's hilarious, by the way. It's very well done.
It's so much bird shit.
So Sean is awkward, Emma is awkward, and Sean awkwardly asks Emma out, and she awkwardly doesn't know if it's a date or just hanging out. So she tries to destroy him in dodgeball, and I love Armstrong pointing that out. They awkwardly work things out and then go on the most awkward first date in history. And over in grade 8, Jimmy and Spinner harass Mrs. Kwan all the way to a leave of absence, which is very, very shitty. But I mean, they were
so
kind of
shitty.
provoked. They were kind of provoked.
I'm sorry she's going through it, but you can't just take it out on children.
For me, I had to examine, okay, there's a point, obviously, where they go too far with the jokes. However, I'm fine with it because she didn't have to, all of the things that she does to them just seems like she's taking out her stress on these kids, which you're supposed to leave your shit at the door. That's what for a productive environment. But
so for anyone who's not watching along,
right? Yeah,
the things that happen are, in the last episode, Miss Kwan was largely had a hand in Spinner's punishment of having to work in the cafeteria, so he's mad about that. And then he's being a dick in class, and she calls him out about it, and he's listening to music and tapping in his pencil and not paying attention, and she calls him out, and he's got a problem with that.
She does break his Discman. She breaks his Discman, which that comes up later to be a little important, and but he's listening to it in homeroom, and she's had it because he's being disruptive. I mean, there's a cause and effect for these things, but it's like, and Ashley and Jimmy are in the hallway canoodling, and she basically she's like, I think Mr. Radage would love to explain to you the finer points of the Degrassi Code of Conduct. And then she starts to walk away, and then she's like, nah, I gotta hit him again. Comes back and is like, you guys may think you're cute, but that doesn't mean anybody else does. And I'm just like, she's having a bad day, and she's
having a bad life. But so Jimmy and Spinner have detention, and then they sneak into school afterwards, and they pull 3 pranks.
Mm-hmm.
The first is they break into Radage's office, and they get on the intercom, and Spinner turns the intercom on in Kwan's classroom. She's teaching a night school English class, and he starts just obnoxiously chewing his gum.
Yeah.
And then she figures out it's on the intercom, so she goes to the office and opens the door, and they're hiding under the desk. She does not bother to do anything other than open the door and look in the room.
She does no further investigation for having the door unlocked by the janitor. Why didn't she? I don't know. She went through a lot of trouble to do no investigation. But
then I know that they're trying to say, they only have so much time to waste. But Miss Kwan's barely out of the room before Jimmy and Spinner peek back up over the desk. And then the next thing that they do, the first 2 pranks really aren't that bad, because the next thing that they do is they order 12 orders of honey garlic wings to Kwan's classroom. And it's going to be $54, which I feel like $54 gets you 12 wings now.
I was going to say all those, he had a stack of boxes. Okay, that's a lot of chicken.
And it's $54, which sucks, but then all of the students are like, Miss Kwan, I'll buy these chicken wings.
It's, oh my gosh, the one guy who,
cute.
The tenses, he's like, you will write the test, and after you'll be able to say you wrote the test. And he's like, I want to eat the chicken wing. I will eat the chicken wing. I'm eating the chicken wing. I ate the chicken wing.
It's really
so
cute.
cute. It's the cutest thing.
This ESL class is really adorable.
It is. She's pulling OT though. She is
She
really.
is.
She's busting her back like sun up and sun down. So she was. That's stressful with no other circumstances. Like, let me say that. No other circumstances involved. You're already burnt out. So.
And then their last prank goes way too fucking far.
Oh yeah.
And they egg Miss Kwan's car.
Like repeatedly. a whole carton of eggs they just empty on her poor car.
And she comes out and she sees it and she's just had enough and she just starts crying.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy feels kind of bad, but Spinner doesn't really. Mm-hmm. And then the next day we find out that Mrs. Kwan is taking a leave of absence for the rest of the semester. Her husband's been seriously ill, and that on top of working full-time plus a second job is just too much, and she's hit her breaking point because a couple of asshole kids. But also she had already hit her breaking point because she was being really shitty to students, and like,
yes, right,
she needed
that break. Absence. She did. And I think, of course, that the whole thing about this B plot is just like, you never know what someone is going through, so always be kind. But she also, as the adult, should have recognized that I need to take a step back because I'm just going through so much that it's kind of interfering with me being able to do my job like normal. Yeah, right. She's a little sass master anyway, but like she's like full on being like mean, like an
she's
asshole.
At war with these children.
She is. It's just the professionalism is not there. So,
and I get it, but also like going through shit is not just an excuse to treat people poorly.
Right, exactly.
So not to victim blame, but she kind of got what was not to victim blame. I'm so kidding.
I mean, she I feel as though she definitely took it too far. She took it too far on literal children. No one was trying to attack her personally. She was just taking everything to the 10th degree. So
the way more fun part of this episode is definitely Sean and Emma's date, which is maybe the worst date in the history of dates. And it's so delightfully awkward from start to finish. Like, before the date even happens, Sean comes up to Emma at the beginning of the school day and is like, so, that math test was really hard. It's Friday, huh?
I know. He's so cute. It's the cutest thing. I just think that Emma was just not expecting any of it. So the casualness that she has is so cute. And then when she's like, oh, I'm processing this might be a date. It's an adorable moment, but it is certainly like, okay, this reminds you of how awkward you most likely were.
My God, seriously. I know it.
I mean, I wasn't going on dates. I think before we started recording, Caroline was saying, at 12, she was not going out on dates and such, and nor was I. Same here. I was not doing these things, but it was very fun to watch. So, but had I been doing those things, exact same. Now, I feel like it's the cutest first date ever, but is it extremely awkward? 100%.
Oh, I don't know that it's the cutest first date ever, but it is amazing to just watch it all unfold. I think
it's cute. I love the Polaroids. I think we need
to talk more about the awkwardness throughout the day, though, because there's a lot of like great stuff in there. The gym scene.
Yeah, the gym scene. I mean, it's like kind of like how their relationship goes. Like, just Sean is extremely vague, and Emma just wants. She says, "Oh, it could have been more romantic." How he asked me, he's 13 years old. What do you mean romantic? Like, stop watching soap operas, Emma. Like, she has like, before she even realized that she was being asked on a date. Okay, now that I know that was how. I was asked on my first date. That could have been more romantic. I think it's funny.
I love though he like walks over. Also, Sean's eyebrows do so much heavy lifting in this episode. Like, when he's asking Emma out. But Daniel Clark is an eyebrow actor, and it's great.
He has a great set of
He's got a great set of eyebrows.
Very, very strong. Yeah.
But he comes over and she's just like, so, about tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had closed captioning on and it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
YUH.
Yeah.
And then Paige is actually really great this episode.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's funny because obviously in this 3-pack we have cabaret later. It's like they are, the original frenemies in this show. Like at least between the grade 8 and grade 7. Like of course it goes on to be Paige and Manny. I just think that they have such a funny frenemy. Like she gives her such invaluable advice at this stage of her life because
That's
obviously
like really
Spike's not giving her
insightful and
this shit.
compassionate.
Right, and extremely timely. Like like she's needing it as she's going through this issue. I don't know. Personally, I love Paige for the little scraps they give her of being the future Paige in season 1, but it's wildly inconsistent. Because then
right, I mean she's horrible
to Emma specifically coming
right.
up. Not,
in the next
episode or so. Come on now. Why?
But Sean's like, yeah. So then Emma pelts him with fucking dodgeballs. And I love they communicate so much better on I Am, which is actually really realistic.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love that they include that. I mean, that actually sparks a genuine conversation. And it's relatable about I'm glad you don't hate me or whatever she's like types in. He's like, why would I hate you? Like, but relatable. Like
no,
me on my wedding
says,
day.
I thought you hated me. Like,
oh, I
like,
thought you hated me.
That? Like,
oh yes, right. It was flipped. But I'm like, that's either way. That's relatable. I thought via one miscommunication that you hate me. So this is just what I'm walking away from this interaction with. To be fair, right. That makes sense because she was pelting him with dodgeballs and refused to hit anyone else.
Right.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun day, a fun school day as a result of that.
And then the date starts. Spike gives Emma like the worst pep talk ever. She's like, my first date was awful. I kept laughing like a hyena and had verbal diarrhea.
But like, why introduce the phrase verbal diarrhea into this equation before your daughter goes on her first date? Spike, the things that she's providing in this episode are lacking. Once again, a milestone in her life. You already did not know, I mean, presumably off cam, it's been addressed about her period, but whatever. Already we're not there for the first period. Now you're dropping the ball on the first date. Come on, Spike. I need you to be good at something and just contribute positively to her, giving her a little bit of confidence, maybe. Going into, just be yourself, maybe something generic. I would have preferred.
Right, he asked you out. He clearly likes you.
Right. She did not need to have verbal diarrhea bouncing around in her damn brain through this whole encounter.
And Spike makes him take the picture. That picture's so cute, though.
It is very cute. I like it.
And I love, we'll talk about it more in Fashion Corner, but Sean's first date outfit is so perfect to me. It is exactly what a kid like Sean considers dressing up, and it's great.
I love he's such a cute little like kind of like cartoon character, the way he always wears some variation of
jeans and a t-shirt and a jean jacket.
Yes.
Well, until he's gangsta Sean. But no, season 1 Sean's like this awkward little like baby James Dean almost.
Yes. I love that compare because that's exactly, yes. He's definitely got that vibe of just a tortured bad boy, but like us with a heart of gold. It's so cute. But yeah, I love how he is, and I love their distance between each other in the picture too.
It's so
how their shoulders. There's like you could put like a paperback in between them. how they're standing in the picture, but then they don't even clear the block, and Emma gets shat on.
After having a bout of verbal diarrhea.
It was just
and
too
Sean
perfect.
is just, there are those eyebrows again.
Yes.
His face journeys are amazing.
He takes it all in stride. Like, he doesn't make her feel, insecure about anything. Like, I actually think it's so sweet how their date progresses. You know, when they get to their conversation when they're in the food court, and how honest he is about the meat and everything. Like, I think how honest he
Yeah,
is with her is so cute. Like,
I
he's
think
trying
so
to be as
too.
much of himself as possible because that's how she is. Like, that is like not really his nature, I can tell. Like, he's just not a
Mhm.
forthcoming person, but you know, he's doing, like, he's putting his best foot forward for her. It's
Well,
so
and then
cute.
she's got the ketchup on her chin, and
And he
he's like,
tells her
he's
right away.
trying to be discreet about it though, because he knows
Yeah,
she's gonna get embarrassed about it.
right, he
But
does.
instead, he's like, has to be like, you have a huge glob of ketchup on your chin. And
Yeah.
she's like frantically wiping it away, and he's like smiled, all bemused.
Mhm.
Like, no,
Mhm.
I'm glad they're not endgame, but I love Sean and Emma. I think that they are the sweetest first relationship. Like, we all should be
Yes.
so lucky. I know I was not.
Yes, because there's a lot of like adoration. There's a lot of like respect between the both of them, and I think that
Hmm.
that's why it's so cute. Even after this first date, they don't go into being like in a relationship or anything. Like, it's still, they're still being kids about it. Like, I think it's a very sweet progression into an actual relationship, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes this such a cute date, because he's doing stuff that, I mean, honestly, like, let's be real, girls and have not gotten their actual boyfriends to do. When's the last time your boyfriend went dumpster diving to find your wallet?
Right.
And the
No.
way that she looked at him when he pulled up his shirt sleeve to like dig in the trash and
It's
find it, and then pulled out the patty, like her face before, she's like, you better go ahead and do that because I'm not doing it. It's, I don't know, it's cute the roles they snap
girl.
into, but
You and I hope that Emma did not need to learn this lesson more than once. Like, you check every possible pocket. You turn your purse inside out.
mm-hmm. The thing was in her
And you
pocket.
do all of that twice
Mm-hmm.
before you go digging in the fucking dumpster
Oh yeah, that's like the last thing you
or the
do
trash can
is
before
go
you make
digging.
sweet baby Sean Cameron.
Roll up his sleeves and dig in the darn trash can slash dumpster for you and dumpster for you. Yeah, I think it's a cute. Is because he goes to lengths to just impress her, and you know,
Because he is a good boy. Sean Cameron
he's
is a good, sweet boy.
and he's kind of a simp for her, but he's just not showing it yet.
Yeah.
He's not showing it yet.
Yeah, he
As
is. He's
much yet.
digging
He
through the trash.
is,
He's
but I
literally digging.
guess right, not in the way, I guess I'm just thinking about the way that he'll go on to just like be such a like a full on
Mm-hmm.
Emma simp. But yes, he's in the early stages. But yeah, obviously, guys, if you didn't pick it up, it was in her pocket. It was in her pocket the whole time, so he just went dumpster diving for nothing. They could have saved their time by retracing steps or checking pockets, everything. Could have saved some time. This was preventable. But yeah, she runs away after this. I think it's so funny that she flees. She just
She
like lets a
does.
very awkward beat pass, and then she just runs off.
Degrassi and the awkward runoffs.
Of course they have to
Because
put
we had.
music on it, but like, I just wish they would have just taken the music out and just like the sound of her feet just running away. That's all I wanted, because it's just an extremely awkward run away. And he's just, his face is like, well, you know, like, well, I don't know, kind of waiting for her to be like, laugh about it or make some kind of reaction, because he's just not wanting to make her uncomfortable. And instead she
Right.
just runs.
And then, but it's so sweet then on Monday. First off, go Toby, being
I love
like,
Toby.
if he likes you, he's not going to let a couple of pictures and some bird poop
Mm-hmm.
and digging through the trash change that, which is
Mm-hmm.
really sweet of Toby. And then
Mm-hmm.
Sean comes over, and I don't think we touched on it. When they go back so Emma can change, Spike makes them
Yes,
take
right.
another picture, and
Yes.
she's like showing them to JT and Manny and Toby. And Sean comes over and sees them and picks one of them up and is like, "Can I keep this?"
Mm-hmm. It's like, it's
And
all yours.
it's so
It's
sweet.
very sweet, because he, you know, spoiler alert, he keeps it. Yeah, it's, I mean, I feel like it's a very cute. There anything else after that?
Um,
I feel like that. I don't think that's
in
the
le-
end,
it
but I.
is no, it is because the freeze frame is Spinner and Jimmy looking sad
Yeah,
about what
right.
they
Because
are.
then
So that's
Raditz,
when we
right.
find out
There
that
is one more
Quan,
scene, right? That the wrap up of that B plot is just them feeling like assholes. I mean, they should feel like assholes. But they didn't know any of that shit. They just knew that their teacher was being an asshole to them. Like, how
right?
are they supposed to know that her husband is chronically ill? They're not. Be kind. But, she also, we already talked about that, but that's why they kind of hang their heads and they're like, oh, we didn't know all this context that Mr. Raditz just gave us, and now we feel like dicks. And then, yeah, they went too fucking far. That
Like,
was
just
not.
be nice to people. Just fucking be nice to people. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I never egged cars in my youth.
I
Whatever.
have a
Don't
very,
make that face at me, idiot.
I have a very strong fear of being apprehended. So I like not even by like the law, just like by anybody. So I have put like nary a toe out of line in my life. Like, and I will admit I have toilet papered a tree before for mischief night. The one time I did mischief night, but I've never egged anything. Not because I wouldn't have, but just because I don't like that was not a popular thing to do in my area, so we just did not egg things. I might have though, if it maybe the opportunity presented itself.
When the opportunity to egg the right person's car presents itself, it's fun. I get the impulse.
With the price of eggs having gone down, I think I'm
Well,
fine. I think I could be persuaded. The eggs are no longer an arm and a leg, so
I don't know. I feel like the first two pranks are so much more harmless. And like, I get they're middle school boys. They have no impulse control. We have established, Spinner in particular has absolutely no fucking impulse control.
right.
None. And
Jimmy's just the yes man. He just goes along with it. He's like, I guess I should feel like I should egg her car for making me and Ash feel like dirt. Yeah, because that's the one thing she did to me. Spinner has an actual reason to kind of be upset,
right?
though. If you want to think about it like that,
I
like
mean,
Jimmy does,
be-
but he doesn't. Like it just like one thing happened to
Spinner's
you this
reason is
morning,
she
man.
keeps not letting me get away with horrible behavior.
But to a kid, that's
Yeah,
valid.
a kid with horrible
A kid
impulse
with
control,
horrible
no less.
behavior and horrible, yeah, no.
Well, and Quan started this war. They came into grade 8 and she was like, Spinner or Gavin Reginald Mason, am I going to
Mm-hmm.
have to give you another 14 detentions? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I don't know why I said I like Quan. I don't like Quan. She
Mm-hmm.
is fashionable as fuck, but I
I
don't
was
like
gonna
Quan.
say, I was actually that's a great segue into my favorite corner. No. To transition into my favorite corner, which is the fashion corner, we've got to talk about a couple look-sees. I don't actually have too many to like talk about in a negative way. I think this was a pretty strong episode in terms of I like most of what I saw, starting with Manny's shade of nail polish is actually very cute. It's a very cute summery shade.
Really?
I think it's cute summery shade. I don't know why a 12-year-old's wearing it
Okay, okay, cool.
in the fall, no less, because it's supposed to be the fall still. Judging
Okay.
by the colors of the trees in the background, which of course, why do I pay? Because I love foliage. So I'm always like, "Oh, there are trees in the background that are really pretty." So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to still be the early months of school in the fall. I don't know why she's wearing that color. And it's not really her skin tone, but I do like it.
It is a cute nail polish, but I had it in my notes too because, like, I would wear that nail polish, but I'm old. I would not have worn that nail polish when I was 12.
Caroline
And
is
then also,
35, guys. She is
I'm
35.
so old. I'm so
Just so
old.
you know, that is not old, kids. It is the
And
dawn
then,
of life, but no, I'm joking.
and then on top of that, Emma's wearing this like beige lipstick that is also a
Kind of.
shade that is not for a kid her age, and it makes her look like a sickly Victorian child.
Yeah, it's not even like a frost.
No, it's just like it
It's
looks like
just
she put like foundation on her
yeah, right.
lips.
It's yes. I don't know what the choices were for because I feel like this I didn't like how they just had Emma in like jackets and collared shirts, like she was about to go be someone's blue collar worker. Like, I don't know, she just did not look how she normally looks. And this was the episode where she's going on her first date. I personally like the second outfit she wore because
Yeah.
it looks more like how she typically looks versus, I don't know, corporate attire. Like, it looks kind of how the when I worked at an engineering firm, how the elder white gentlemen would dress when they would, you know, it was a little nippy outside. I'm gonna pop on a
Yeah.
fleece over my collared shirt. Why are you dressed like that for a first date? It just is not cute.
I did like her little baby hoops.
Yes, her baby hoops were adorable. I think they're very cute on her because her neck is long and she's still growing into it. It's a very cute accessory that she doesn't normally wear. She normally does the studs. So I think it's very cute. I love Ashley's long denim coat. She's sitting down though. And I didn't even realize this. It is a one that I pointed out in Cabaret because she rewears it. But I rewatched this one. I was like, oh yeah, she wore it already. And it just, didn't realize it because she's sitting down. It's kind of a waste of the coat. So, and then she doesn't wear it again. But it's a very cute denim knee length coat with some cute fringe detail. And then I like Paige's strawberry necklace and her blue ribbed collared shirt. Very cute. I'm always paying attention to the details, y'all. I love I have got like my little list. And I will shout out to Emma's crimped hair too. I think she plays it out way too much in this episode.
It was like only crimped in the front and not all the way down.
Yes.
And those were choices that were made that I would not make. I might have when I was 12. I was gonna say,
like, 12. She was just allowed free reign, and her mother is a hairstylist.
But spoiler alert, it doesn't show until like season 4.
Thank you.
Emma's hair is just a hot mess for a while. It's fine. She's 12.
And I mean, and she's a successful hairstylist because she says things in the last episode when she got her period. I did well this week. Let's go spend my tips.
Yeah, I can also see that being a broke single mom thing where you're just like, I'm going to figure out where to.
I thought that's possible.
Money from because my kid needs retail therapy.
I thought that was possible. But if it's also just what she said at face value that she just did well, I want the payoff to show in your child's head because
right.
Emma looks like she just got full creative control, but with no guidance. The execution should, I'm going to help you, honey, so your hair does not look fried, dyed, and laid to the side all the time. And it's just, I mean, you know, I'm going to stop picking on a 12-year-old because she did that hair herself. But
I'm sorry, but like 12-year-olds, especially in that era, were cringe. Every single one of us, we wore sparkly blue eyeshadow. We crimped our hair. Do you remember that hair tool that would crimp like a shape into your hair? Like you could just like hot iron stars into your hair.
Yeah, and thankfully my mom never let me buy any of that shit. Because she was like, it's not gonna do what you wanted to do to your hair, so we shouldn't waste the money. And I was like, I mean, fair enough, but you're mean. I got the bedazzler. That's what I got. I had little rhinestones. I had little rhinestones in my head, and I had the one that braided for you and did the fake colored hair. I just had to have the instead of buying the ones that were in the store that you could just attach to your head, and I had to have a gadget that did that. Yeah, very extra.
I don't know. We're going to make fun of middle schoolers in the early 2000s for their bad fashion. And like, I get Miriam McDonald is a real person, but I bet Miriam McDonald looks back at that and is like, why did I think that this was the way to do my hair? So like, it's literally no shade because we all did it. And
it's not any it's playful jabs, of course.
Right, and
like,
it's part of what being a 12-year-old girl I feel like is, you know.
Yeah, trial and error.
A lot of trial and error,
and just having fun with it.
And like, you read dumb shit like 17 magazine and Cosmo Girl. I remember Cosmo Girl once suggesting as a funky way to style your hair putting staples in it.
I believe that.
So
just like actually stapling your strands of your hair. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like damaging your hair or anything.
No. And like, you know, staple all the way down, or you could staple fun designs. I'm not even I'm not making fun of Miriam McDonald or Emma Nelson. I'm making fun of myself and every other 12-year-old girl in 2001.
Right. And that's completely valid.
And it's bad hair.
What is childhood if we can't laugh about it? You know,
right?
And all the dumb shit that was done. And the fashion, because honestly, I think that half this shit, even though like it's cherry picking the trends of like the cutest things versus the cringe shit that was actually worn on a day-to-day basis. But personally, I feel like Jimmy and Spinner's windbreakers, because they're sitting next to each other when they're in Radich's office and they're using the PA system. I think that they're very 2000s. Was just wearing sportswear, unironically. Not even like athleisure, because that wasn't a thing, but okay, I'm gonna wear this entire windbreaker outfit, including the pants. Right. And I just want to swish all day.
Yeah. So I'm impressed with them for like being able to do some spy shit, like sneaking into Degrassi, all like swish, swish, swish.
Yes. And literally Jimmy's has a highlighter strip on it. Literally. Okay, but like he did not get the memo. Okay, yes, I have one more for fashion, and we're gonna segue. I like Ash's end outfit when they find out that Kwan's taking the leave of absence. I like her high pony and her V-neck shirt. Especially, I love her side eye, and not even her side eye, her like mom eye of looking at them like, I know you two bitches had something to do with this shit. Like. Yes, but that is it for that fashion corner.
No, it's not, because I have a couple, and
you have a couple. Okay, my bad.
We did not talk about Sean with his gray turtleneck under his denim jacket with his jeans. It's like his normal day-to-day, everyday outfit, except instead there's a turtleneck, and it's like, I don't know. He looks adorable, and it is exactly what a kid like Sean is like. This is my dressing up outfit, and it's very cute and very on brand. But also, Charlie and I watched this together, and we had a moment of like, so JT comes in and he's wearing this shirt that's got like orange and black design on it. It kind of looks like flames, but I'm pretty sure that it's not.
He just has weird wardrobe. I have one in the next
And then in the next scene, we see Kwan wearing this red button-up blouse. Yes. And it's got like circles in reds and pinks and orange and black. And Charlie and I were both like they didn't match, but they had similar vibes.
Oh, okay, that's so cool.
Which I thought was interesting. And then my favorite fashion of this episode was actually a background character.
Okay.
In the scene where Spinner and Jimmy are telling all the kids in class about pranking Miss Kwan, and there's this like ska pop punk kid standing behind them with like flaming red hair and a red bowling shirt and a horrible tie.
I don't know why that gives me an image of Guy Fieri.
No. Think like tall, skinny, like ska kid. And that's it for Fashion Corner, which I do believe brings us into my favorite segment.
Pew, 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 pew. Shots fired.
Did you have any shots fired this episode?
I did, but I don't know if they're similar. So you can
okay, well, I had off 3, so why don't you start with one of yours?
I like in the beginning when Toby is trying to talk to Emma and Manny, or mostly Emma. Emma says to Manny, "Let's go sharpen our pencils." And I'm just like, that's like, I'm like, Emma's such a little.
That's like I have to wash my hair.
Yes. I was like, that is hilarious. And he just, oh man, I would be thinking about that all day if I was him. So mean. But yeah, that was one of them. Did you want me to keep going, or do you want to?
I'll throw one of mine out.
Yeah.
So my first one is Paige referencing Heather Sinclair's bargain basement nose job.
Oh shit.
Which is really mean.
Oh, Paige. That's extremely mean. And she's 12, 13, maybe. She's 13, maybe 14. Why does this?
Yeah, 13,
why does this,
maybe 14.
Why does this girl have a nose job?
Right?
And why are you talking about the quality of her nose job? Oh my gosh, Paige. I didn't. First of all, that's such a zinger. I did not put that down, so I'm glad that was one of yours. I put down that Quan talking to Jimmy and just like, Mr. Brooks, Spinner or Mr. Mason already has detention. You can join him. I don't know what, like, just the salty ass way she said it. It's kind of like, for me, a shots fired at, just genuinely what the line read was, but then shots fired at how why are you so excited to tell a child that he has detention? You're getting too much pleasure out of this.
Because her husband is very ill and she needs to torture children about it. Have some compassion, Avis.
She needs some protein. She's doing too much fucking OT. Like, it's getting to her ass, okay?
And then Paige calling Sean a one-syllable kind of guy.
Yes.
She's like, it's Sean. He's a one-syllable kind of guy. Like, yes. It's so mean.
It is mean. And I think I said this earlier, just the shots fired for me at Emma and Sean for not retracing the steps earlier, because just bullshit could have been avoided. Like, I'm looking at both of you guys. Like, both of you had a hand in preventing the bullshit. But yeah, those are my three.
And then we had 2 Huns this episode.
I'm glad you're tracking those Huns. They wear on me for some reason.
One of them we've already kind of referenced. They both happened in the same conversation. And the first is, Paige overhears Sean or Emma and Manny talking about Sean, and she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, and is like, oh, Sean or whatever. And Emma's like, no, or something. I don't know. She's awkward. Mm-hmm. And Paige is like, hun, your thing for Sean is more obvious than Heather Sinclair's bargain basement nose job. Again, so mean. Extreme. And then Emma says the thing about Sean, how Sean asked her out and like hanging out or whatever. And Paige is like, hun, that's a date. Mm-hmm. And those are our 2 Huns for this episode. So she's starting to say it more often.
Yeah, she is. They're like, oh, we like this.
Sometimes I wonder if she really says it. Like, that's part of why I'm tracking it, is like, does she say it that much, or do I think she does because of that one Degrassi mini? So next up is Wannabe. Roses are red. Manny wants to join Spirit Squad, but Emma says they're bimbos, and that's on God. Paige is starting a Spirit Squad. Manny wants to join it. In news that should surprise absolutely nobody, Emma thinks cheerleading is morally bankrupt. She's absolutely appalled that Manny wants to, would even think about it. And then Manny blows her off to hang out with Paige and Hazel. And then Emma, little Miss Cause girl, goes and does what she does best and writes an op-ed for the Grapevine, which pisses off Paige. And then Paige rips it out of the Grapevine and then throws Hazel under the bus. Paige is really extra awful this episode.
She is.
And in the B plot, Toby and JT are trying to win $1 million with Pringles cans, and Liberty finds the can they need, and then Spinner threatens them with violence if they don't give him a cut, and they don't end up becoming millionaires.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I completely forgot that Toby was giving away his expensive shit, his expensive technology to random girls just because he thought he was about to come into money. That is I need me some Toby confidence
in that scene.
Yeah.
I can afford it.
You were feeling he was gross and smarmy. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if I
No, it was funny. It was funny, but then I was just thinking about that guy as a grown-up.
Oh.
You haven't dated a lot of men, right?
Dated? No. I wouldn't say what I did with them was dating.
Okay, so not all men, but a lot of men suck to date, like, and especially like casual dating is like, oh god, I wouldn't be in my early 20s again for all the money in the world.
Especially
but I
now.
don't know. Like, it was cute and funny with Toby doing it, but it made me think about, like, I've gone on dates with that guy as a grown-up, and I was like, no thank you.
Deep shiver. Like, yeah. I'm good on this. Oh my gosh, that's funny to think about Toby as an adult, though.
Right? I'm like, Toby, don't grow up to be that guy, please. I love you. Like, you're a sweet little baby.
I love him too, and now I'm kind of concerned for the adult that he, is a timeline-wise.
Not Toby, he'll be all right. Toby will be all right.
I hope he just finds someone who doesn't, like, take advantage of how sweet he is, but then also someone who doesn't let him be a creep. There's gotta be, like, hope he gets a good spouse. But anyway, for me, the biggest part of the actual plot here with Manny and Emma is this is their, like, first instance of them butting heads for the simple fact that Manny wants to do something that Emma doesn't agree with. It happens enough times for it to be a thing.
It does. I think watching it, because I watched them again, like, right before we record.
Yeah.
And watching it today, like, yeah, Emma was against cheerleading and didn't like that Manny disagreed with her, but it was more about Emma's insecurity of, like, Manny getting her own interests and finding other friends. And that's its own kinds of issue.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, she is like as far as their relationship goes, she's the leader. She's the one who has the more defined interests, and fucking Manny supports her. That is Manny's function in their relationship, basically. So I think it is definitely her jealousy. Just, oh, okay, you're not gonna have time for me, basically.
Right.
Like, you're not, how long have we been friends? And now you're basically blowing me off. Like, no, I'm allowed to have more than one friend, Emma. I'm allowed to have more than just you in my life, to spend time with her, even just to, like, she's
hey, Emma lets her hang out with Liberty and Toby and JT. All right, she's already...
But no one can ever be as, like, important as Emma, though, and Emma just sees somebody like Paige as a charismatic threat. She's not wrong, because Manny is highly suggestible and literally does shit that she knows is wrong because she wants to be accepted. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I just think they never learn that, okay, your friends don't have to be up your anal cavity 24/7 to prove that you're friends. And that is kind of, I like how they write Manny. It does make sense for how she goes, how she eventually goes on to develop, with just how she starts off as being Emma's lackey and not really having her own storylines. This is, really her time to actually have a voice against Emma. And I do appreciate her for being very vocal against Paige. And it's showing that even if this character was always second fiddle to Emma, she has a strong enough voice to be a character on her own. And that's why they're friends, is because they're both outspoken people, just in different ways. So I do like it for her character development and, like, how background she is until this point, until she finds something that she actually does feel is interesting. It just sucks that it's literally something that that is demonized by fucking Emma.
Well, Emma hates a lot of things, so, like,
she hates fucking
there was a high probability that whatever interest Manny got,
NAK,
Emma was gonna have a problem.
She just develops random, like, issues to have with things. Like, okay, I don't like this. I don't like that.
Did you notice that this episode is the first time that Manny tells somebody that they're just jealous?
Yes. I did not. I think that that I didn't include that in my little speech about her, how this is the great beginning to her arc and how she'll eventually, but this is, yes,
this is like the origin story for Manny's like bitchy side.
I love Manny's bitchy side.
Oh, I mean, same.
She does it so well, and it doesn't come off as like, I mean, sometimes it does, but her whininess, it's not like, sometimes Emma, when she's being a bitch, she sounds whiny. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, when Manny's being a bitch, she's coming at you claws out.
But still also like most of the time very cool.
Yes, right. She didn't stutter once. I was like, that's so impressive as somebody who, when I get a little upset, sometimes I stutter.
When I get mad, I'm a Pisces. I'm a March Pisces. Mm-hmm. And I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when the sky is too blue or not blue enough. And I cry when I'm fucking angry.
I do too. As a July Cancer, same.
And it sucks because like nobody takes you seriously.
They don't. It's like I would, my girlfriend tells me, "Oh, your lip is trembling," when I tell her something, and I stand in my conviction. She's like, "Your lip is trembling," and I'm like, "That's not something I can control. Like, stop coming from my life. I'm trying to be serious here." Or it's definitely an emotion that boils over that you can't control. Like, tears just happen. I don't control them. I feel like there was definitely a reason we got on this tangent.
Manny being really fucking cool when she's angry.
Thank you. I was like, there's a relation. There's a relation. At all.
No. I love, there's like 2 different shots of Emma lurking in like the window. And she's wearing this god awful sweater this episode.
Is it the green one?
It's the big bulky green one.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
And then they put Manny in a similar orangey one, but it's not as bulky, but the collar is like plump.
The collar is really plump, but like
I'm just like, what is it?
but Manny's is still better.
It's definitely not as offensive as Emma. Whatever the fabric is, it just looks itchy as shit.
Emma's looks like Manny's looks like she bought it at a store, and Emma's looks like it was made by her grandma, and it was literally the first thing her grandma had ever knit.
I feel like I want to pin.
I
want to pin this for Fashion Corner.
Bad, but
no, yeah. I want to pin this for Fashion Corner because I was just about to start talking about more fashion. I love the shit.
Yeah.
No,
I don't have that much else on this one.
On
if you want to transition into Fashion Corner, we can.
Yeah, because I feel like the only thing I really wanted to say is just that I don't know why. Maybe it's just the fact that I did a couple years, maybe like 5 years collectively at all the schools I went to of journalism. Like I did the school newspaper, and either I edited or I did columnist stuff for it. I actually felt personally victimized by them tearing out Emma's op-ed, and not because I wanted Emma's op-ed to be read by anybody, but just because God, are you ripping shit out of a publication? That just bothered me, and I don't know. Maybe it's just the nerd in me. Maybe it's just the fact that like I'm a writer. I was like and the rip was so pronounced too. I think that's the big.
But it should not have been in the paper to begin with. Liberty is like drunk on
fucking power, faking boots.
Fucking about to be a millionaire power. Because like she reads it, it's like blah blah blah. They're just a bunch of bimbos. I don't remember the exact wording, but it was not appropriate.
I think also Liberty was feeling a little like saucy. She's like just like just like whatever. She, like you said, drunk on power. She's just why not? Like
Emma being like, I didn't think it was harsh enough.
I can make it harsher. She's like, no, this is already going to fuck shit up.
She's like, this is already going to be entertaining. To be a cheerleader, right? And Paige is such a bitch. Like, I don't want to call a teenage girl a cunt. But Paige is a fucking cunt this episode. She's just like pitting Manny and Hazel against each other for no reason.
Right. I mean, honestly, Hazel's just minding her business, having participated in all of Paige's bullshit up till now. So she thought she was fine. But no, you weren't there to protect yourself, Hazel. So under the bus you go.
Well, and even before that, though, like when Paige is like, Hazel's like, let me, show us this new move. And she does the toe touch.
Oh
and
my God,
like,
I have to talk about that toe.
I'm sure Manny can do it better. Like, why?
And then, and she's like, careful, you're making Hazel jealous or whatever. Yes, it's very much I don't know what she's getting out of it. I keep saying this because, like, I'm not a mean person, so.
To me, what she's getting out of it is creating competition within the group so that people aren't competing with her for the attention and the power.
I love that, because as somebody who's never been like privy to that kind of those higher social dynamics, I wouldn't know.
It makes sense though, yeah.
No, I'm just a little autistic and I like to figure out what people's motivations are.
So it's like, if I don't, I mean, it's kind of shameful to admit, if I don't understand someone, I'm like, I'm trying to figure you out, but I don't always have the pieces. So I didn't even think, like, my brain just did not go to the point of, okay, she wants to create chaos so that the spotlight is not even, it's still on her, but it's like the others are now fighting. Like, everybody below her is fighting so that she retains her. Yeah.
Well, she becomes the orchestrator.
Well, and I feel like she's a mastermind enough to actually be for that to really be what's going on. Like, she's smart as shit. Yes, I think she is.
Yeah, I think she's that calculated.
Spoiler alert, people who aren't smart as shit don't get into banting.
She does she does get into banting, does she? Doesn't she? And I mean, that's a whole nother. I'm just imagining her face as she lights up her trash can.
Spoiler alert.
I
can't wait to get there.
I love it. I'm so excited. Yes.
I love season 1. I think it lays some great foundation, but I cannot wait to get to season 2 when Degrassi really does start to go there.
Yes, indeed. Let's buckle up. We're almost there.
But yeah, so Paige is just unnecessarily mean all throughout this episode.
Yeah, she is. I mean, it's kind of hilarious. She's just like the perfect template of like that head cheerleader, like mean girl. That's what she's trying to.
Yeah.
That's what she's trying out for right now. She's trying to get people together so she has an entire squad of people to torture emotionally. So yeah. And can we talk about the graphics where they're designing the fucking cheerleaders?
Yeah.
She's like, I think I like this shorter skirt better. I'm like, you are in middle school. That is like literally like you could see the top of that graphic's ass cheeks if she leans over. Like, right. I don't know who approved this. Obviously, there's Degrassi has no approval system. They don't have teachers that supervise things.
No.
But yeah, I mean, do you have any more free talk? Deep talk?
Not really, no. I think we can jump on into the fashion if you'd like.
Yeah, once again, the fashion corner. It's my favorite corner. I want to kick it off with JT's blue. It's like a Hawaiian type shirt, but the actual print, it looks like various figures in action. I had to stare at this print for a long time. At first I thought it was Sasquatches. I don't think that's what I think it's like people in motion, like doing various sports poses and shit, but it also looks like camo. I don't know. It's a lot going on. But I think it's overall a pretty cool shirt for JT, who tends to dress like he just got dressed in the dark, which is on track for a 12-year-old boy.
Speaking of getting dressed in the dark, and this isn't even getting dressed in the dark because this shouldn't be in your closet to begin with, Liberty. What is her long sleeve red shirt with the gray, like, fake sweater vest that's only in the front? It's not okay. Nobody should own that shirt, and especially not a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, her entire wardrobe is pretty tragic, but that's particularly tragic.
It's particularly tragic. It's like the rest of her wardrobe, she's at least like trying to have a style. She just doesn't have good style. Mm-hmm. But like if I owned that shirt, it would be because like somebody had left it at my house. and it was comfortable, so I'll like hang out around the house in it, and maybe on a day where the depression is running deep, I would run to the gas station in it.
Oh
But
shit.
no, it's a horrible shirt. I hope it
feel
was
that.
comfortable because there's no other justification for it. Like, it needs to be the most comfortable shirt in the world.
I mean, shit, we gotta only hope that Liberty's dressing for comfort at this point. Otherwise, what the fuck is she dressing for? Like, what the fuck is she dressing for if not for comfort?
I'm sorry, those fucking red-ass Ted Mosby cowboy boots were not comfortable, I guarantee it.
Okay, but cowboy boots apparently, because my mom just got really into the rodeo recently, and her and her boyfriend have been... just went to a rodeo.
So bad. She sounds like the coolest person ever.
She is. She's cooler than I am. She owns a pair of boots that she is, but like we have like wide like Pebbles and Bam Bam feet. I am not talking about us negatively. That is literally what they look like. We have little wide like stubby feet. So
Girl,
they don't.
same.
So they fit in wide shoes. Very like we love our wide fit shoes. And she's like, they are very like they're insanely comfortable once you get over the toe pinch. She says there's a toe pinch because of the way that the boot forms a point, but other than that, she's like a happy camper because they let her feet spread out apparently. So I'm like, okay. I mean, but the way that Liberty like dusts a fleck of like off of the boots, some debris
like,
off.
Concerned and like
she's like, these are my favorites.
Disgusted that boots. A piece of dust would dare fall on her boots. And they make me think of Ted Mosby and How I Met Your Mother and his stupid fucking red cowboy boots. The Liberty wears them better.
Oh my, I love how they do a shot of, how they do their hallway transition shots, but like there's the one shot of, I think Raditch is over the loudspeaker, yes, and she walks by in the boots. And I'm like, they had to showcase the boots. I mean, first of all, I love Emma's line delivery because I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years back, a meme about like, what are those? Yeah. Like, these are my Crocs. Yes. So like this actually got circulated. I believe that this was made into a meme of Emma saying, what are those? And like, that's all I ever think of because that's her exact face. It's just like, what are those? So yes, Liberty's boots are her pride and joy. No one else's, but we gotta take what we can get from Liberty because she is very fashion unfortunate for a while.
Yeah.
I like Paige's plush coat, although I feel like she just likes statement pieces. So I feel like I'm giving her all of these fashion tics for doing things that she knows I'm paying attention to.
Well, she pairs this like brown faux fur coat though with this fuzzy backpack. That's like looks almost like tie-dye, but it's
does.
Fuzzy.
It's like
blue and pink and purple, and it's not a mini backpack like Hazel has, but it's not.
Yes, it's
a full size backpack,
right? But it's not mini. Yeah, I
can't put a
like they're both.
In it.
Oh, first of all, I want to know how Paige Michael Chuck carries her school things. Because she never wears a backpack like Ashley. She's not like she's carrying little cases that literally has her PDA, her damn lip gloss, and maybe her lunch money,
and a Twix bar that's not hers.
That's not hers. Like this girl has no books. She does not. Maybe a pencil. Maybe she has a pencil in there. Maybe a pen.
In this episode, she was like carrying her books in her binder, but like. No, you have so many textbooks.
Oh, right, she was. I don't think I've seen her carrying school supplies up until now.
I don't know. Paige Michael Chuck is a mystery.
And how, like, are you actually going to class? But no.
And then Emma's fucking awful sweater.
Yeah.
After 2 amazing sweaters in a row, she came in with like just this like. She looks like it's like a Swamp Thing sweater.
It is. It's really unfortunate. And I mean, a lot of moments happen in the sweater. So we're forced to watch it.
And they're like creepy moments of her like lurking in a window. Did you have any more fashion?
Yeah, I like Paige's lavender turtleneck outfit. It's a turtleneck I don't hate. It's a very sleek those are the hot turtlenecks that we will take you to 2023. You can come. That style of turtleneck. I love her little mini skirt stockings combo with it. She has stockings on. Yeah, I mean, I'm good on the fashion corner.
I had some shots fired.
I do too.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I go first this time?
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
Manny in the bathroom scene when she says to Emma, "You know the difference between you and Paige? Paige is fun. You're so boring. Sometimes I want to scream." And poor Emma looks
I want to cry for Emma because, to be honest, it's always the quiet ones. It's always the people that don't like. And I mean, Manny's not quiet, but she's sitting on so many fucking zingers and so much, like, she could destroy Emma's life.
Yeah.
Just with all of the shit she just doesn't say, and that is one of them. And it's very sad. Extreme shots fired. Pew pew pew.
Pew 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 pew. What was yours?
So I don't know why they do I don't know why they do the ADR where they have people doing like, wow, oh my god, she's so good type of like. But when Manny is cartwheeling in the hallway, there is ADR from an unseen person saying, wow, how did she do that? I'm just like, I don't know. It made me slightly unhinged because I had to replay it to make sure that was actual ADR. And yes, like, it's a cartwheel, guys. It's a cartwheel. Beautiful. But yeah, that was one of them for me.
I liked when JT and Toby were trying to get Liberty's can, and Liberty was like, find a dictionary and look up pathetic. I thought that was a sick burn, Liberty.
It was. I love Liberty.
I love Liberty too.
And personally, maybe this is being too mean to Spike. I feel like I've already been mean to Spike in this episode. But Spike, why is that computer still in Emma's fucking room?
I didn't notice that.
Why is the computer still in Emma's fucking room? Have we not learned? Have we learned
Spike
nothing?
Won't be a winning Mother of the Year anytime soon.
Not from us. I don't think. You try to give her points, but just like take 2 steps forward, take 3 giant steps back. Spike, what the fuck?
Do you think that Emma would suck less if they had reversed it in Degrassi Junior High and Spike had had the abortion and Heather had had the baby?
Oh shit.
Is that
personally? I mean, I'm fine with it, but I just think that what would have happened was because the other twin was so damn. I always forget her name. The other twin was Erica. Thank you. Erica was so damn like hyper like anxious about her and like being pregnant, and I feel like she just would have been the worst. She would have created like Emma like all of the wrong qualities and none of like the 3 good qualities that this Emma does have. Like I think like
so if in an alternate universe where Heather is the one to have the baby, Emma is even worse.
I think Emma would be even worse because she'd have to fight between a lackadaisical mother and literally a mother who is like smothering her for being alive. Like, okay, you're born now. I need to protect you. I don't know. Erica was weird. Like, you weren't the one that was pregnant, girl. Your twin was. Like, do you have any more shots fired?
No.
Okay, I have 2 more.
Yes. Please tell me.
Hazel's toe touch. I used to be a cheerleader. Girl, that's ugly. Extremely. You are not making any squad.
With so Paige was right that Manny could probably do it better.
Oh, totally. There's just no flexibility. I don't know if Hazel's just not flexible. Like, Andrea Lewis, I'm sure they told you to do it badly because you are our queen and nothing ever can be said wrong about you. But it just was, the form was off. The form was bad. And then I think yes, that's what I talked about it off the top. I thought it was hilarious, but I'm gonna fire shots at Toby for giving away his shit because he thought he was coming into money. I'm firing shots at that because
dumb.
Dumb. Yeah, that's enough shots for me.
I had a black hole.
Oh, awesome.
I And I don't know, he may stick around for a couple more episodes, but he never gets any real attention. Oscar from the Spirit Squad.
You're right.
But I like him.
I like him too.
He's cute.
He's a cool.
And
he's cute.
He can do cool.
He's a male
cheerleader. On the computer. He's a male cheerleader.
Yeah, like he's a cool guy, and I guess they just decided they didn't want that triad friend group.
Yeah.
Poor Oscar.
So pour one out for Oscar.
Sorry, but yeah, I think we're good to slide on into Cabaret, our final episode. Roses are red. Ash wrote a bland song. Terri needs the mystic oracle to convince her she's wrong. I love that. It's time for lunchtime cabaret at Degrassi. Emma is performing an interpretive dance piece about poaching, but she needs someone to play the hunter. Sean is very much not interested, relatable, but White Knight Toby is here to save the day. Terri and Ash are planning to debut their new group, Two Girls and a Keyboard, but Paige muddles the waters when they turn their duo into a trio. And honestly, Two Girls and a Keyboard is a really boring fucking title.
It's the worst band name ever, except maybe for Three Girls and a Keyboard.
She's like, let's just keep it simple. Three girls and a keyboard.
Three girls and a keyboard.
No. First of all, I just respect that Terri is just non-confrontational, and so the entire episode is Terri trying not to literally just scream at Ash, "Boo, you stink!"
Right.
Her face, though, when she's doing the very slow-ass funereal version of that song in the beginning is hilarious. Like, I'm like, Terri,
Ashley loves a really sad girl song.
She does. And I mean, this is the first instance, I'm going to clock it because I think it happens like 2 more times, of Ashley having her very strong lyrics in terms of like songwriting. She's a good songwriter, but having her song upgraded by people who are more talented.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to say that Paige and Terri are better singers than she are, because Ashley is a very good singer.
Mm-hmm.
They're just better at like entertaining and making people actually want to listen to them, which is important for singer
and at producing, I would say.
Yes, shout out to Snake.
They make Ashley's song faster and poppier and better, and then they perform at the cabaret without her. But it's not until right before the cabaret that she tells them she's not going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have this perfectly choreographed dance number for two. These bitches, like,
they were setting her up. Because what was Ashley gonna do? What was Ashley gonna do? I love how movies and TV, like, they do that. Like, they completely ignore the reality of choreography and the fact that, like, no, now there's a hole missing in the dance, because literally choreographing a duo is completely different from choreographing a trio. Your spacing is different. Like, it would be very clear that there was supposed to be a third person there. You're not able to just pull that together into a duo at a drop of a hat. But whatever.
And then all the mystic oracle shit
is funny.
Is really funny. And like, I love Ashley, like, in the first scene is like really quick to be freaked out by it, and all Terri is like, I call upon my guardian angels and my mystic spirit guides or whatever. And Ash is like, stop, you're freaking me out.
I have a problem with Terri bringing a literal Ouija board to school. I have a personal problem with that. You're trying to summon spirits for what? Show and tell? Girl, if you don't get out of here. It stressed me out, personally. But I do think that whole, oh yeah, my aunt, predicted a stroke because of that. Like, okay, just because that very specific instance happened doesn't mean, you're putting stock into it in every instance. I just think that I find it funny how this is just something Terry's into suddenly and never mentioned before,
I
and then
love
throws her
Degrassi will
cards
do
away.
that though. It's like
They
somebody will
they
have
they
an
do it.
interest for.
They're gonna keep doing it. It's gonna keep happening.
I
Somebody had
feel
to
like
have
you're
it.
not supposed to throw away tarot cards.
I think I
Like I
kind of,
think you
yeah.
don't just throw those in the trash. Maybe that's
Like,
why
aren't they
Terry gets
tied
what
to you?
like.
Yeah, I think they're like like you spiritually like tie yourself to them or something. Like there's to make them work and actually like, because then the person has to touch it too. That's why
Yeah.
she has her pick it to put your energy into the card to get an actual reading. I've had readings done before, and she had made me rub the cards and like shuffle them myself before I even got a reading from her. So I think you have to like endow energy into it. It is something I semi, believe in.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think that for the purposes of the episode, it's just a very playful thing that they wanted to toss in there because Terry's so non-confrontational.
Yeah,
they're
so
like,
she
this
has
is a
to,
great
like,
way.
use fake magic to manipulate Ashley.
My biggest issue with Ashley throughout this whole episode is how she's like, this is the better version. You know that, right? And like basically like try to put like your ideas are not Terry's ideas. Like Terry's allowed to have an opinion that is not yours, Ashley.
Right, like I'm sorry, your version makes me want to sit in my dark room and like
stare at the
cry,
wall
stare
and
at the
cry.
wall. Like it's
maybe pick up a hammer.
It's not for the cabaret, it is for a coffee house.
Yeah, I think that Ashley is just so self-righteous sometimes, especially about her music. Okay, I wrote it, so this is how it's gonna be, basically. Okay, but honey, just because you wrote it doesn't mean you're actually performing the best version of the song. But she's also like just doesn't want anybody to have any ideas that relating to her music, so
yeah. Unless they are, it's so great, and it definitely is better without Jimmy's rap.
It's so not better without Jimmy's rap. Just like this version, and like I love how Snake is like,
oh my god,
don't worry, there's
so
two like
cute.
This is just a whatever, both versions are still on the computer, like. And I love
he's so excited about this when he's like, yes. Y'all ready for this? And it's did anything change?
He added a little bit more like that, whatever.
I'm sorry, can you do that again?
Whatever that sound is, I can hear it in my head. It's very popular with like these kind of club. It sounds like a club mix. I love how he was just able to come up with that shit in 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, it would have been. Can you imagine how great the Zit Remedy would have been if they had those?
That's all he's thinking about is like, man, if me and my guys had this kind of equipment, like I don't know. That, first of all, the music video that he mentions was so. I love how he mentions that, and you can just see how excited he still is about the music. I love the little tie-in to vintage
Their
Degrassi.
one song with like 2 lyrics.
Their one song with 2 lyrics that they just never bothered to add a verse to, or like maybe write another song or anything. They literally got that shit recorded and made a music video for one song. Yeah, Zit Remedy, guys.
You heard of it? And then Emma's Panther Endangered, that's what it's called.
She's got some cojones to do that, to just want to get up in front of your peers and do any shit like that.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if Manny had been able to stay the Panther, it would have been good.
It would have been, yes, it would have been good. It still would have been what it was.
A little cheesy.
I heard that is probably the one ADR I won't call out for, because I loved it. I was like, okay, this is middle school. People should be laughing. But they weren't. They weren't laughing at her yet. But someone did say, what is this? I'm like, yeah. I'm glad we're thinking the same shit. What is this?
And I gotta call out Toby again, because again, like, this behavior, if he carries it into adulthood, is problematic. Get out of here with your nice guy bullshit.
True. You said this if you can, you're calling out baby Toby, like, do not let these habits continue to form, or you will be fucked up.
I've known these
Mr.
men,
Nice
Toby.
Guy.
Don't be them. Do not become these men.
Actually, what he says is hilarious, because JT's like, oh, she has a boyfriend now, you know, and he's like, who refused to dance? Who's the fool now? Like,
no, he says, who's the hero now?
Who's the hero now? Oh, where did I get fool from?
I don't
maybe
know.
in the beginning, but yeah, no, he is certainly ready to like step in. But like, I love how you just get that comparison after they do the dance of Sean in the foreground and him in the background, how small he looks compared to Sean. And I don't know, obviously he's shorter than Emma too, so it's just, I don't know,
everybody's shorter than Emma except for Snake.
Damn, Emma's kind of tall.
and Sean, you know, comes through when everybody's making fun, and he just stands up and is like, shut up and let him dance.
Yes. Like, I love you, Sean. You're just you're perfect. You stand up and you do the Lord's work, because no one else was going to stand up for those three people. And I love how she continues dancing. And I put in my notes, Emma said, my man wants an encore. Like, she's like, I've got the dancing spirit. And just started. I love it. But I do have a gripe with, I mean, okay, personally, I've just been to so many of these like school shows or whatever. I don't know why they sent Paige and Terri up there with no sound equipment and a blasting backing track. Have they supposed to be heard? How is that practical? Like, I know their audience was right there, but even still, you would have not have heard their voices all crisp and loud like that, like they had microphones in front of them. Hilarious.
Well, also, why are we doing this at lunch?
Why
this
are we
is
doing
such
this?
a janky operation.
Well, because Degrassi's weird about like after school activities. Like, remember the dance where Terry's drunk is the first night dance.
But Radish doesn't find out about that, and it still lets them, like, supposedly another night dance is supposed to happen the next month.
Well, yeah, but we learn in the episode where Liberty has dyscalculia that the last talent show some microphones were stolen.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for my brazen ass laugh, but like, I actually think, I don't know why. It's because I'm sure that is a serious issue for schools to have their equipment stolen like that. But I just, maybe, okay, wait, was that just my question was answered? The microphones were stolen at last year's show. So to prevent that, no microphones. Fuck you. You better project that voice. Thank you.
And bam, here's a really loud blasted. We're gonna blast the backing track.
We're just gonna pump it up, right? And you better sing, bitch, or you're not gonna be heard. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot that the microphones were stolen.
Radich is a sadist.
He sure is. They're just the
he
planning.
And Quan are like a match made in heaven.
Someone was like, "Oh, let's just throw a cabaret for these kids," but no, you know, no sexiness. Because I feel like isn't cabaret they usually have like scantily clad women.
Yes. In what world is cabaret appropriate for middle schoolers?
Cabaret might not have been the best word for what they were trying to do here.
It's not what they did.
You're like, but definition, like the definition of cabaret, like they did not do that. Oh my gosh,
they didn't.
Okay, well, no, because I looked it up, and cabaret is a form of theatrical entertainment featuring music, song, dance, recitation or recitation, I'm not sure how you pronounce that one, or drama.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a variety show. You're thinking of a burlesque show.
Ew, I thought
You're
I did have
probably
burlesque
though
in my brain, but I thought that they had
probably because of the musical Cabaret.
I'm thinking of the musical
Yep.
Cabaret.
Yep.
Thank you very
No,
much.
Cabaret in and of itself is not inherently sexual. But
Got it.
a burlesque show is often a cabaret style show.
Learned something new today. Love learning. So
So there's your little, more you know,
Oh,
drop of knowledge.
right. We love it. Love to educate on this show.
Definitions corner.
Terri and Paige are so lucky that Manny sprained her ankle.
Oh my gosh, can we talk about the Foley on that ankle crunch? It was brutal.
Oh yeah, no,
Like-
it hurt me. It hurt me.
It just sounded like such a clean, like
Watching it, I was like, oh no, thank you.
Like poor Manuela. She's talking about like she's excited about what moves can be incorporated and fucks herself up. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just jacked it. You said that Manny. What did you
Just
go into?
just that Terri and Paige lucked out.
We're
with that,
lucky.
because then
Yes.
Ashley was like, "Oh, the Oracle is right."
Right. That was because she predicted that.
I think.
No.
Are we ready to move on into fashion corner? Your favorite corner?
My favorite corner. Yeah.
Nobody puts fashion in the corner.
Yeah, I feel like I really did like Terry's outfit in the first scene with the sweatband. I just think that they don't always dress her like the most poppy in the scene, and she really stood out against Ashley in that scene. I was kind of sad that they only had her in that outfit for one scene, but very cute.
I thought she looked so cute in her cabaret outfit, though.
Totally. That's I have it on here. I love the sparkle. I love her glasses, and her hair is really cute. It's and I love how her and Paige actually complement each other. They look like they're a very cute duo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I love those outfits on them, but especially Terry's outfit because she looks confident, she's having a good time, and it complements her body definitely.
And her hair looks great. Her hair
is
amazing.
fabulous. It's fabulous. Speaking of hair, I want to know what the fuck Manuela was doing with those little two front buns in the ponytail.
I thought that was cute.
I think anything that she has unless like because her hair is always very sleek looking, I think that most of the time it's inoffensive, even if it's not cute to me. It just took me out of it because I was like, I was reminded of like a little baby elephant, and I was like, you're still cute, but what the fuck? Like I still love you, Manuela, but what the fuck? And then she wears a variation of it where she just lets some of her her hair out of the ponytail, and it's like long hair, ponytail, two buns. It's just a lot too. It's we love Manny, but damn girl. And I actually like how they let Ashley repeat a couple outfits in this episode. I love that they let her repeat her lilac collared shirt that I loved in the last 2-pack.
They do that with everybody, which I love. Like, because a lot of
TV
shows,
they do it with everybody. I guess I'm noticing it more because I like Ashley's fashion in the first season more than I like.
But I noticed it. I noticed it today, and you know what I thought in my head? Ashley Kerwin, you are an outfit repeater.
Oh wait, isn't that? And then she's like, and you're an outfit rememberer, which is like kind of worse.
Yeah.
Oh, I love me some Lizzie McGuire, man.
Same.
I have to call out Paige's busy ass blouse I love it because it's giving me Italian, like it's giving me like a Renaissance painting just the vibes, but I
Are
feel
you
like
talking
it's
about
so
the like
chaotic.
space blouse?
Yeah, like right, like I can't.
You know,
it's like got a horse on it. It's got a star on it.
it's got planets. It's got like I think it's got
yeah. To circle back, I do. I love Liberty's tuxedo. I think that she's adorable, and it's probably the one outfit that I actually don't think that she owns personally, but it looks so cute. I don't think that she owns that outfit for some reason, but it's so cute. I love the top hat, and I love how it's feminine. You know, it's like got a little feminine touch with the beading, and it's a very Liberty outfit. Love it.
It is very Liberty.
And yeah, that's it for my fashion corners there. I don't have any more.
Yeah, I do not either. I do have another shots fired. You know what? This 3-pack by and large, like it was not any heavy hitter episodes, but there were some good shots fired.
Oh, totally. I think we have. Yeah, I have 4. So.
Oh, I only have one, and it is
okay. Go on.
It is Paige's face when she's listening to Ashley's fucking song.
Yeah. Oh, right. In class with her.
In class, and she's just like,
I love Paige.
Like she looks disgusted, like she's listening to like a true crime podcast for the first time ever.
Oh my gosh. It's hilarious. Her face is actually very funny. It is. She's like, what the fuck? Yes. I mean, in that same vein, I have to fire shots at Ashley's the first version of Ashley's fucking song.
It's because so slow.
Ashley, you are not going to a funeral. I was just about to say you are not Alanis Morissette, but that would be extremely insulting to Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
And I love her. She wishes that she was Alanis Morissette, but it's fine. And then I love that when my next one is when Raditch comes into homeroom and he's like, I'll be your homeroom teacher again. And they're like, oh, and his little look where he's like, shut the fuck up, settle down. He gave actual like teacher eyed, like I haven't had to pull this out in a while. Like, excuse me. And they all just died down very quickly. And I think I already said that I was appalled that Terri brought a Ouija board to school. Yes. I'm gonna fire shots at her and also her father for even if you didn't know that she brought it to school, you at least knew that she had it. So I'm firing shots at you for that.
Are you like
sorry, I had a tickle in my throat.
Are you scared of Ouija boards?
Scared is not. It's more how I feel about the ocean. There's a heavy respect and a heavy anxiety.
Same.
I'm just not fucking around with it. I just don't fuck around with things like that.
I can see that with like the not Milton Bradley or Parker Brothers or whatever Ouija boards, but like I just don't think that something that I buy at fucking Toys R Us for like $35 is gonna.
They sell kids Ouija boards? They sell toys?
They sell them in the game section. It's a game.
Avis, your face right now. You're so upset. You're like, not the children.
Toys R Us?
That's exactly how I feel, Dillyn. Not the children. Anybody but the goddamn children. Oh my gosh. No, I didn't know that they had that in game form. What the hell? No.
That's what Terri has. Like, it's just like a little like.
I had no idea.
It's like a little shitty game board and like a plastic pushy thing. Planchette.
I thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
right between Monopoly and Scrabble.
Not in my black home. I'm sorry, guy. I will never. It will never enter my threshold. I did not know that it existed. Y'all to tell me some new foolishness. No, thank you. I said, like, why did you think that I was like, I'm appalled that I thought it was an actual Ouija board she brought to school?
I mean, it is, but it's it's like a mass manufactured. Nobody's summoning any demons with that shit. You can't talk to the spirit world. It's. I mean, yeah. Okay, Terry's
you don't know that.
For me, I don't know how spirits can differentiate between shit like that. Oh, I'm just joking. It's just a game. How do they know? It's like, fuck that. Even if it is a game, maybe it's not a game for them. Like, vroom vroom, now I'm in your living room. Like, I don't know. For me, that just is like one of those things that I don't think is a game. But more power to Milton Bradley.
What's that meme with the lady with the witch hat? It's like, if you can't summon your own hellfire, store-bought
is fine. Yeah.
So I think it's time to wrap up this episode and ask a couple of questions. But before we do, or award some accolades and ask a question. But before we do, I have a question for Canadians. Because in one of the lunchroom scenes, Sheila like puts a tray up and says lamb stroganoff. Do public schools serve lamb in their cafeterias in Canada?
Y'all got the budget? I actually would believe that Canada has the budget for that in their public school systems. I believe
like moose stroganoff, but
why moose?
Because it's Canada. They got moose in abundance.
Is it the moose that's endangered, or is it something else? It's something else. What's endangered? That's like
a lot of things.
Canadian. No, but that's Canadian. You said a lot of things. This is not the time to talk about everything endangered.
Mama Onu.
That's not what I meant. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to look it up. There's something in Canada, maybe the elk. I don't know. Something is endangered. And that's why I'm thinking like, oh, why would they use an endangered animal? But lamb just does not seem safe to consistently serve in a public school setting. It just doesn't seem like a crowd or a crowd pleaser. Right. I mean, how many of those, how many plates of lamb stroganoff are you clearing? You know, like how many kids are eating this? Presumably there's a couple options for lunch. Hot options that is very costly. Well, you know, have to keep an eye on that shit.
So Canadians, please let us know though. Tweet us. Or
that would be.
Let us know on the Facebook. Is lamb stroganoff like? Did your school serve lamb?
I'd be interested to know. My school didn't even serve like beef sometimes because it was expensive.
Right, we had like burgers.
We had burgers and maybe very like occasionally meatloaf, but like
I think we had cheesesteaks because it was Delaware, so you'd have like
yes, we had shaved cheesesteaks, yes, with the Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz is superior.
Let's wrap this up though and talk about our shining stars and our super bummers.
Yes.
For Friday night, honestly, nobody really shined that much. I think Sean shined.
I was gonna say Sean was my Sean motherfucking Cameron was my shining star because he was a real one. Because I would have just left Emma. I would have just walked away.
And Paige, I'm gonna give it to Paige. She gave sound advice, and she wasn't even bitchy this time, like she was in Coming of Age. So I'm gonna give it to Paige. And for super bummers, you know, a lot of times there are assholes on both sides of the story, and this is one of those times. And my super bummers are Spinner and Jimmy and Miss fucking Kwan.
Thank you.
Get a therapist or something.
Please get a therapist, Mrs. Kwan. Yeah, those are my super bummers too. Spinner, Jimmy, and Mrs. Kwan. And I wholeheartedly support Mrs. Kwan getting a therapist. Very needed. You know, would help a lot. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we think we're aligned here. As far as wannabe goes, I'm gonna have to. I mean, shining star. I cannot give it to Manuela because you were still a dick. I feel like you did stand up for yourself, but you put yourself in that scenario. So I'm trying to think of another shining star.
See, and I gave it to Manny because she stands up for herself. And
okay, well then maybe I'm being too hard on her. Maybe
I
I am
mean,
being.
honestly, though, this 3-pack, like, there's nobody
Ooh.
really shines. I gave an honorable
Yeah.
mention to Snake because I
Yeah,
love when he comes in with that like dad energy.
I love Snake and his dad energy is so timely. Yeah, and I
And
mean
then
the super bummer is Paige
and Emma,
and Emma. Yeah, but because Emma just took it too far with her op-ed
too far.
and everything else. But yeah, that's
And
good.
JT stressed me out with his room and his locker, and I say that as a very messy person. Like, I'm not going to show you the doom piles that are my side of my bedroom right now.
All right. But he
But
just yeah.
JT is out here doing the most, by which I mean doing the least.
Mhm.
Can't
I
even
will
clean
agree
his
with
room a
that.
little bit. And
He's a
then
damn mess.
for Cabaret, I gave my shining again. Nobody really shined. I gave it to Sean for telling everybody to shut up. An honorable mention to Snake just for being adorable.
Yes. I will agree with that. And I will say that the reason I didn't give it to Terri was because she just didn't deserve it.
Oh, I put Terri. My super bummers are Ashley and Paige and Terri because
Yeah,
I think they were
right.
all
They all
awful.
suck. Yeah.
That everybody sucks this episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think we had fun talking about everything else, but it's just like if we're trying to pinpoint people who stood out in a good way, it's hard because everybody was kind of mid or really
Mm-hmm.
annoying and bad. So, yep, I'm good with that. The trio and the super bummer and love me some Snake and Sean. Oh, right, for telling everybody to let them dance. I agree. I won't give it to Toby because he was simp. He was given simp nice guy
It's
energy.
a nice guy energy.
It's quid pro quo. I said quid quid pro quo.
Yeah, and
Is
it's
what's
I'm
on
not here
Toby's
for it,
mind.
Tobes.
Yeah, nope, we're good. And I mean, I think we already know the answer to this about these couple episodes, but it's time to ask: did it go there?
Does it go there?
I think we can just hit them all in one and say no, not
I
really.
think that we can just 100%, not really. No.
And like again, it's still like it's very real shit that middle schoolers are going through that feels important to them, and I do like these episodes for like I like that they do that. I
Yeah.
think it's important. I remember when I was that age and like I would get upset about things and my mom would always say like, "Oh, it's just your age." And I thought she was writing me off, but it wasn't that. It was just like
It's
your frame of reference for like the
Mhm.
amazing things and the horrible things that are going to happen in your life is like so small. And so
Yeah.
these things that like 3 months from now are going to feel inconsequential, feel major. Your first big
Massive,
fight
yeah.
with your best friend,
Mm-hmm.
like does the
Yeah, it
episode
feels
go there? No, but is it
No.
covering important stuff? Yes.
100%. I think I said earlier, it just establishes some things that I am excited to see pay off, but
Mhm.
that will eventually aid in us being able to say the episode went there. But these are foundational episodes. They were not in any way supposed to be like on that scale of going there. They don't even come close. They're just I don't even want to say they're filler because they're not filler. They're important, but they're not on that scale, which is fine.
And to be fair, the N wasn't using that tagline yet, so
They
it doesn't
weren't. They
have
didn't
to
know
go
what
there.
they had yet. They didn't know what they had. They'll know soon.
Thank you for listening to your mom's podcast. Join us next week as we finish up season 1 with Under Pressure, in which Sean has terrible coping skills, and Jagged Little Pill, which finds Ashley alienating all of her friends in the course of one terrible evening. And the end.
This episode of Your Mom's Podcast was made possible in part by Honey Garlic Wings, Paige Michael Chuck and the Sex Kittens, and of course, support from listeners like you. If you'd like to further support our show, you can follow our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at YMPadcast and TikTok at Your Mom's Padcast. You can also visit our website at www.padcast.com. Your Mom's Padcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you feel so inclined, subscriptions and reviews are another great way to support the show. If you'd like to support us financially, you can subscribe to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/yourmomspadcast. And remember, that's Padcast. PAHDCAST. Thank you.